Welcome back. It's Sunday today and I'm going out for lunch. So I've put a bit of makeup on, done my hair, got my lovely scarf on that my sister-in-law gave me. But first what I want to show you is some of my sketchbooks that I didn't get in the last video. But because I'm going out, I just thought I'm going to paint my nails. So I'm just going to quickly do this. Same colour as my scarf actually, dark purple. I'll just quickly do. As you can see, my nails are quite short on that hand because I'm learning to play guitar, so I always keep my nails short. Actually, I've been learning for about 10 years now, and I don't know, sometimes I don't think there's that much improvement. There, similar to my scarf colour. I like that colour. So that hand, of course, is a lot shorter, nails wise. You'll see in a minute when I paint this one. Oh, made a blob. I know a lot of people pay a lot of money to have their nails done. But because in my early days, I was an apprenticed hairdresser, I became a hairdresser when I was very young, and I learnt manicure. How to do manicures, how to paint the nails. I'll show you. There, that took less than a minute. So that's my lovely longer nails on that hand, but much shorter on that hand. Because I'm right-handed, I hold the guitar, the frets, with the left hand. So the left hand has to be shorter nails, and I try and keep them short. But actually, once I paint them, they don't really look that much shorter. That's my right hand. So it's a big improvement, painting my nails. It makes you feel a bit more dressed up. Anyway, look, I'm just going to actually, can't do much until they dry. Let's just dry them off a bit, shake them around a bit. They should be dry now, actually. Dries very quick, actually. Yes. It's called Gel Shine. Actually, it was given to me. It's an Avon. It's very nice. It's an Avon make, actually. It's very good nail varnish. There we are. Done. Da, 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 da. I can do it now. I can turn the camera around and show you what I was going to do. Unfortunately, I haven't sorted my tripod out. I seem to have lost it. Because I'm working at home at the moment. I think I've left it up in my studio. I must have a look for it, because this is quite hard holding the camera and trying to video, trying to show you what I wanted to show you. Anyway, I'm going to turn it round. We'll have a good look. So, I think this is where I left off in this sketchbook. This book's quite different. It's more detailed. I've taken more care. Let me just show you the previous one. The previous sketchbook is just full of mostly the same. Actually, it's all from the. Oh yes, I think I showed you this in my last video, where I'd actually I'd closed the book without putting any paper in between when it was still wet. So as you can see, I ripped that bit. Anyway, I've painted over it now, so oh, excuse me. So it's fine. So what I need to do is always have these little bits of paper or something. So this sketchbook is very, very quick sketches. As you can see, that was 10 minutes, just at the top of Barricane Beach, looking down. Most of these, yes, it's all Barricane Beach. Most of these sketches in this book came from doing, when I'm up there, I always like to do a sketch of Barricane Beach. And it's amazing how different they all are, depending on, I suppose, my mood or just the colours I see that day. It's all exactly the same scene. I do like this one, actually. It's quite bright and looks quite modern and contemporary compared to that. And that's, I think you can see there, I think I spilt some coffee, let it dry, and then just started going over with these pastels, these cheap pastels. They're lovely. I actually quite like them because they blend in really well. So there we are again. I think I've done a little bit of gouache and crayon and pastel on that one. I'll just zoom through this because actually there's so many of them. So all the same. And I don't know why I kept putting that sign in there. I seem to have a fascination for it. But yeah, all the same they are. I like doing that because you can just scribble down very quickly. Now that's a slightly different angle, very similar. It's near the very same area. I'm showing off my nails. Why not? They're looking very nice today. But it's just slightly to the right of down on Woolacombe Beach. It's called Moor Point, and there's a beautiful walk, and I go there a lot. The top of Coombs Gate is very near, well, it is the Barricane Beach is just below. I don't know why I've called it that. Top of Coombs Gate, well, I suppose that's what it is called. Coombs Gate, oh yes, I was with my sister that day and we were walking down, and we just sat at the top for a moment. I quickly sketched the houses in. I haven't done any detail, of course, but it just gives you an idea of what you're looking down on. Spectacular, actually. So that's that book. Right, what's this? A palm tree. Oh, I was just sat outside. My sister and I sat outside the pub having a drink one lunchtime, and I just quickly jotted down what was going on there. Palm tree, there's a flag outside. What's this one? Perrin Sands. Ah, that one was when we were down in Cornwall, when I was down with Steve. The RAF surfers. Oh yes, we were watching the surfers. They kept going. The soldiers had a certain amount of time. Every 10, 20 minutes, the whistle would blow and they had to get out of the sea and run back. I thought that was quite interesting. Obviously, they had to do that because there was quite a lot of them down there that day. That's Duggan Bay. I started doing that and it started to actually pour down. So I just put some tissue over it. The next day when I took the tissue out, of course it took off a lot of the colour, but it's given quite a nice effect actually. There's a little boat in this just little tiny bay there. And the same happened there. We were just sat, I just quickly scrubbed down some trees. That's the gardens at Glenwedden, I think I call it. Oh, this is one I finished off the other day. I don't know if I showed you this. There was the Cornish waves, but then I started putting in some fish. I quite like doing that actually, if I do the wave painting. View from the top of Cummartin looking down. There again, I'm doing a little bit of watercolour and finishing it with a little bit of pen work actually. That's one of my wave paintings. I always seem to do a wave painting when I'm down there. Quite like the colours I've used. They're almost landscapey colours. So I do quite like doing landscapes. That's a messy one. It didn't take long for me to do that. But just trying to capture the rocks there as well. What's this one? Oh yes, my seagull. I always like to put a seagull in anything I'm doing. Actually, that's down at the harbour. That's the harbour wall looking down on a little boat. I just managed to quickly sketch in the boat there. There's nothing much there. Just a tiny sketch, but I did like doing the little seagull. I do like seagulls. So that was the end of that book. So this is the sketchbook I was going to show you. This one is, I just quickly put down the colours I saw. This was the beginning of the autumn, and I've recently just gone into it with a very fine liner pen and brought out some of the detail. So you can see on this next page I'm going to show you this one. So this one I didn't put any detail in with the fine liner pen. So that's how this one started off. Just blobs of colour that I saw. Blobs of lovely colours, the autumn colours. But that's how it can be finished off with a fine liner pen, you see, which I like doing. If I'm just sat quietly, I will go back. I might do that. I might go back into it and finish that off, or I might just leave it. I'm not sure. This is a sketch I did down at Woolacombe, and in the distance here is Lundy Island. There's some, let me point out, I just put in some blobs here and turn those into seagulls. This flying around seagulls. But this top bit I quite liked, and I love this. If I said it was cow parsley, I'm not quite sure, but I do like putting this into my paintings, whether it's there or not. So I think I've used a bit of artistic license and put the cow parsley in. Of course, this time of year, you just see the skeleton of it. And I think it's because it always reminds me of an upturned umbrella. The skeleton of the what's left in the autumn. In the summer, of course, this is beautiful. Normally it's like full of little tiny flowers. I also like to put that in as well. So that's a sketch. I really enjoyed doing that. I spent a bit more time on it. And there in the distance, you can just make out Lundy Island. And this again was at the top of overlooking Barricane Beach, Coomsgate, from the other side of the Woolacombe Beach. And I started this off with gouache, and then I just finished it off with some pastel on top. Just brought in some grassy things. Also the shape of the what I would call the umbrella of the cow parsley. I think I'll call it that. The umbrella tree. That's what I'm going to call it. Here I just started. I think I started this little sketch when we were just sat. We'd just gone out for a drive and we just sat down. And over here, there's quite a lot of greenery actually. I've got it in my mind to finish this off because I can remember it. And then the fir trees here and over here. I might finish that off. I could do that with fine liner pen. Oh, this was when I was back in Somerset. That's the Bruton dovecot. It's quite wishy-washy actually, because I think I was going to put a lot more colour into it. Oh yes, and put a gate here. Yes, I'm going to finish that because I quite like that. But as you can see, it needs a little bit of work on it. Oh, going back to Woolacombe. The seagulls, I love the seagulls. It's quite a choppy sea, so it must have been quite windy. There's two little guys there, just stood in little pots of seawater that collect when the tide's gone out. And yes, I quite like that one. Over here in the distance, there's some houses which I didn't actually, I think I tried to put them in here, but I haven't. Maybe with a fine liner pen, I could bring it out and make more detail. Yes, I might do that. That's the same scene again. So this is how they look. Just really roughly put it in to get the feeling, the lay of the land, if you like. But I can go back into that. I might use those pastels because I like using the pastels. So that was that. And let me just, this one I'm working in as well. As I say, I always have 2 or 3 sketchbooks on the go because if there's one that's drying out, I've usually got another one I can pick up. So yes, I did show you this one. I'm sure I showed you this in my last video. This is down Woolacombe again, just using Payne's Grey and just cerulean blue, just 2 colours. And little seagull. The sea was so rough, and that's what I was trying to capture. I think I caught it quite well there, actually. And the pattern of the waves, I always like this. I find that interesting. What's this? Oh, this is yesterday. We sat in my front room. Opposite, I've got a field. I've got a tree it's opposite a graveyard, actually. In the graveyard is this tree. There's always 2, I don't know why I've done them green, because they're not green. They are pigeons, and they're always sat up there. And then recently there's been some ponies put in, and they've got their rugs on. So I've got to go, I literally just put in as much as I could and just some colours that I can see, just to remind me. Also, I liked to put this telegraph pole in here. I really like that. It can give definition to a landscape sometimes if you put in the pylons in the distance, or, you know, some of the telegraph poles I do like putting in. But this tree is completely unfinished, as is the bushes down here. So I'll enjoy finishing that off. So that's that one. Then I've got my biggest sketchbook. I'm going to make you laugh now, because I was chatting with my sister. My sister came round for lunch yesterday. So there she is, my sister Sue. I just trimmed her hair. I cut her hair and she cut mine. So I thought she looked quite glam, but she didn't like, when I showed her, she didn't like that picture. But I quite liked it. I might put some more colour into it. I always call her Sis Sue, my sister Sue. So there she is, immortalised in my sketchbook. She won't like that sketch at all, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, I've got some beautiful, I love tulips when they come out. And next door I've got a vase of beautiful tulips. So I've quickly sketched them in, but I want to finish this because they're like custard and cream colour, and I really want to do that. I love flowers. I always have a little bunch, and I've got those there as well. Those daffodils, which I haven't painted, but I really must do that because they are lovely. They always cheer me up. They're only £1, so I treat myself and just put them on the table. It's something nice to look at when you come down in the morning. So this one I'm going to enjoy finishing. And I think that's it for this one. I think I've shown you that. That's in Woolacombe, the top of Marine Drive. Just very quickly splash some colours in that one. I might go back into that with fine liner and put in, you know, my umbrella plant. I like calling it that, the umbrella plant. Stroke cow parsley. I think I showed you all these. Yes, because that was from a programme I was watching, Hamza, who he's a famous wildlife guy, photographer. And that was the eagle, the chicks. They were putting rings on their little legs, taking them down. But yes, I've shown you all this book, I'm sure. So let's put that one away. So that's it for today. And yes, I hope you like my nails. I've painted something today. If only it's my nails, at least I've done something. Actually, looking at them, they need another coat. Another coat of nail varnish. I'll do that in a minute. Anyway, I hope you all have a lovely Sunday and speak to you soon again. Thank you for watching. And if you'd like to subscribe, it's totally free and it does help build my channel. And I can inform you of when my next video is coming out. Okay, speak soon. See you soon. Bye for now.